So as we go into operations, right, this is kind of like your account health area, right? So we can see, overall health, the shipping performance, your customer service performance, the policy compliance, all these sorts of things like that. This is good to have. It's not generally, I think, somewhere that a lot of companies are living in our tool constantly, to be quite honest with you, just because it's not somewhere that is like getting updated all the time.
Hmm.
We've got stuff around overdue orders as well. And it's another screen that you want to be blank. Okay. There's a couple screens you want to be blank. This is one of them.
But
Review
an
management.
overdue order means like someone bought it. It was promised to be shipped today, but it still not, right? Something along these lines.
Yeah. Yeah. Spot on.
Hmm. So it's mostly, I would assume, from for those who are selling. Yeah, actually, that's a kind of follow-up question. Because like if you're Amazon FBA sellers, which myself, I'm an FBA seller, so Amazon ships our goods and mostly the overdue, they kind of take care of that. And, we don't really have, as much as I know, at least much ability to do something with it. But there's FBM. FBM means they're selling on Amazon, but they're using their own logistics warehouse to send units. Is this where this might be more appearing, sort of? And can we even connect like FBM? You know what I mean? Like if we're, you know what I mean? Like basically yeah, I guess we're sales channel, let's say eBay, but we're doing the fulfillment through our warehouse, and then we'll see the overdue, or just trying to understand this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So this is in an Amazon instance, this one here.
mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
like you wouldn't see eBay in this particular
Ah, I see.
instance, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So I'd have to jump into the eBay instance to see that because, yeah, to see what's available in there. And it just comes down to the availability
Yeah, yeah,
of
which we
that.
mentioned before. Each kind of marketplace, etc., we have own its own things on the
Slightly,
left.
slightly
Slightly
different,
different.
different things. Yeah.
100%.
Just like, and it's just what the APIs allow us to bring in. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool.
Uh, but yeah, just on that, yeah, this is pretty much what that says on the tin, right? It's the overdue orders, what's the value, the items that are overdue, the destination, where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. Cool, cool.
We'll jump into review management. So this is where we can actually automatically send reviews to our buyers, right? So instead of having to manually do it, we can have the system just automatically send out those requests for the purchaser to go through and fill in the review for us as well.
Mm-hmm.
We can set this
Nice.
over FBM, FBA, and the delivery date afterwards as well.
Nice.
Pushing on, we have
Mm-hmm.
our out of stocks. Again, this is looking at current out of stock, at risk out of stock as well.
Ooh.
So we can record obviously how much stock you have in inventory. And the next one after that will go a bit deeper into this. But this is pretty much, look, we've got six left in stock. We think that in the last 30 days, what we know, sorry, is 2,133. In the last 30 days, we've sold 54 units.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, there's none out of stock, so there's no days out of stock just yet.
Mm-hmm. Nice, nice.
Going into FBA inventory, now this is a really another useful one.
Mm.
This is used a lot for this is FBA, right? But what we can do is we can basically understand our replenishment configuration up the top here. And we actually cover this quite in depth in the Merchant Spring Academy. So we want to know how many days we've got covered of our orders, the total, how many we've got available, these sorts of things like that. So what we're able to do is we're actually able to configure our own replenishment. So if we know it takes 120 days to get our order in, okay, we can put 120 days. The days covered, right? Normally we will order, 90 days worth of coverage, and we know that we need to restock when it gets to 20. And so what will happen is we'll be able to use our user data there, right? And then we'll be able to give you alerts of when you are running out of stock, how much area and capacity it's all taking up as well, your daily sales, these sorts of things within the stock. Again, it's a really, really useful tool, especially for those who are FBA predominantly.
I see we can also create a shipment from here, like it's connected to Amazon. So if we need to ship, let's say a few, a few boxes of some product, and we can do it from here versus just going to Amazon and starting the move there. We can just kind of log in, obviously, and then do it from
Yeah.
here. And also on
So
the
what?
upper part, Luke, I wanted to mention that if you could just scroll a little bit up on the right side, the replenishment configuration. So, like how long it takes to produce the goods there, etc., and how many days this covers, etc. Basically, this helps then the system to tell us when to kind of or kind of
Yeah.
when we're going out of stock, etc. So we don't get out of stock based on the times that it takes us to, say, to produce and to deliver, etc.
Yeah. Spot on. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It just helps you to manage, your own stock levels, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And of course, on the left, do not go into because Amazon fees rise quite high when we are now these days. I think it's over. Well, it's kind of on a ladder. So first you pay, let's say, first 90 days you pay X for the amount of stock you're keeping. Then afterwards it's more and more, and then it's like severely more after a year. And I think they have kind of added other steps to the ladder between the 180 to 270, so it's now more expensive there too. So they're like pushing us to be very efficient with our inventory, which is not so easy sometimes as sellers, gotta say, as a seller, but this kind of tool can help us to not get into the days that are expensive for the inventory. And moreover, we can even try to sell our stock. Let's say we're having like we have some units that are getting close to that 1 year, and then it's gonna be really expensive. So we might like run some sale or drop the price just not to get there. If we don't see that in front of our eyes, well, we can check partially in the Seller Central as well, but then we can just miss it, and then boom, suddenly we see like a way lower salary from Amazon. Like, what happened? Like, seems like we did decent sales, but because you know, the margins were eaten by the long-term storage fees.
Yeah. Spot on. And just like you said here, right? Just being able to understand, your storage
Mm,
volume,
hmm.
like how much is
Yeah,
that costing you monthly, right?
yeah, yeah,
Uh, So yeah, that just helps you really just manage that piece, like you're saying about just getting stuff in time in the right time frame, right? Not overloading or not underdoing it. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. Cool, cool.